Hey boys and girls, Mrs. McGuire here. You need to make sure you take these notes because I am collecting them from you on Monday. So your notes need to look like my notes if you want full credit. And we're getting started on 6.3. We're not doing all of it. We are just doing the part that you are supposed to know already to see how you're doing. So we're just going to look at nth roots. Now, you should be really familiar with square roots because you did those in geometry. And just as a little reminder, every single, this is our root, right? Underneath it, that's called the radicand. There you go. And up here, the number is called the index. And the index is going to tell us what root we're taking. So if you don't see an index like in number 1, whoop, there's number 1. You don't see an index. That's the smallest index that we have. That's a square root. So there's a little bit, maybe 2 right there. There's a lot of different ways to think about these. Here's the way I like to think about it, is that 8 is the same thing as 2 times 2 times 2. And I'm going to teach you how to do these simpler, but there are x to the 7th, there are 7 of those. Am I still on the screen? Wow, that's a lot. Okay, so here's what I want you to think about. Where root is 2, so we want 2 of these, and they come out as 1. So this guy stays under. 2 of these come out as 1. These 2 come out as 1x. These 2 come out as another x, and then this guy stays under. So under the square root is still the 2x. Outside the square root, we have 2 and x times x times x, which is 2x to the 3rd, and then the square root of 2x. And this is your final answer. So quickly, let's just talk about an easier way to do variables than making them all the way out. Now here's the thing. If you struggle with this and you have to keep doing the variables out, that's fine. But it's easier to say to yourself, 2 divides into 7 3 times with 1 left over. Let me say that again. 2 divides into 7 3 times with 1 left over. The remainder stays under by itself. Okay, next one, number 2. So if I go too fast for you at all today, just pause the video, slow down, ask a friend. We are going to be working on this stuff and doing more with it when I see you on Monday. So again, I have another square root, 72. I hope when you think of 72, you think of 8 times 9. Do you think of 8 times 9? Now 9 is a perfect square, so I am not going to break it down anymore, but 8 has a perfect square in it, 4 times 2. So this is another way of writing our 72. It's 8 times 9. And you don't have to break it down all the way if you don't want to. I'm just going to write my variables so I don't forget them. So here's the quick way to do this. Square root of 4 is 2. Square root of 9 is 3. Remember, this is a 2. 4 divided by 2 is 2 with nothing left over. And 5 divided by 2 is 2 with one of them. One of them's going to be left. So under the radical, you have a 2 and you have a b. Outside, you have 2 times 3, so 6a squared, b squared, square root of 2b. That's your final answer. Let's go try another one. Number 3, it's still a square root. It represents a problem that has a number in front. So here's the thing, whatever comes out of here, it's going to multiply this 3 that's already out in front. How do you think of 32? Do you think of 32 as 16 times 2? That's a nice way to think about it. You could think of it as 8 times 4, but 16 times 2 is nice because 16 is a perfect square. All right, so this is a square root. So remember, the 3 is out here. The square root of 16 is 4. 2 stays under. W stays under. 2 goes into 12 6 times. And those are all gone. Under here, we have 2w. So we had the 3, remember? 3 times 4 is 12. Y to the 6, square root of 2w. Okay, let's talk about some third roots. Third roots. This is different. This means we want to find 3 of something under there. So we want to break this 27 down. 27 is 3 times 3 times 3. It is a perfect cube. And this is c to the 6. We're going to do the variable the same way. So if we have a perfect cube, we need 3 of these, and it comes out as 1 3. And then we're going to do, for the c, 6 divided by 3 is 2. That's it. We're all done. Number 5. You've got 108. Now you might not know factors of 108, so I'm going to show you something called a factor ladder. You start with 108 and you ask yourself, what is the smallest prime number that goes into it? Well, I know 2 goes into 108. See, 2 goes into 10 5 times, and 2 goes into 8 4 times, so that's 54. That's nice. I know 2 goes into 54 27 times. What goes into 27? 3 9 times, and 3 goes into 9 3 times, and 3 goes into itself until you get to the 1. These are the prime factors. When you multiply these numbers together, they make 108. So under here, we're looking at 2 times 2 times 3 times 3 times 3, a to the 4th, b to the 6th. We're doing a third root. Here is 3 of them. Here they come out. Get rid of them. These are staying under, folks. They're not going anywhere. There's only 2 2s, so they gotta stay. This is a 4 divided by 3 goes 1 time with 1 left over. This is a 6 divided by 3 is 2. It's all gone. Under the third root, you have 2a. So I just want you to be careful. See how close this is? You have to be careful when you're writing these answers. So make sure it looks like 3ab squared. Give it some space. Make sure that really looks like a little third root into a. And this is multiplication in between those two. But give them some space so it doesn't look like b to the 23rd or anything like that. All right. We're looking at some fourth roots now. Number 6. So this has a -2 in the front. It's fine. Don't let it throw you for a loop. But when you do fourth roots, you are looking for 4 of the same thing. So the -2 stays out front. 32 is 5 2s. You're going to get to know this guy. Because think about it, that's 8 times 4. That's 5 2s make a 32. And then x to the 4th, y to the 9th. All these 2s make 32. So we need 4 of them. So we're going to grab 4 of them because our root is 4. And so we've got -2. These all come out as 1. And x, you have a 4 divided by a 4 gives you 1x, and that's all gone. 9 divided by 4 is 2, and you get 1 left over. So under the fourth root, we have this little 2 and this y. So your final answer, -2 times 2 is -4 xy squared. Give it a little space, the fourth root of 2y. All right, why don't you try in number 7, hit pause, try that one, see how far you can get with it. Okay, so when you break down your 64, you might be thinking of 8 times 8, which is normal, but let's write 8 like this. There's 1 8, and here's another. That's your new 64, friends, because we're doing fourth roots. So we've got x to the 7th, y to the 3rd. Remember, fourth roots, we need 1 2 3 4 of them. These are all coming out as 1 2. These are going to stay. 7 divided by 4, it goes once with 3 left over. And then 3 is not divisible by 4, so that's just going to stay underneath also, okay? So you've got the fourth root. 2 times 2 is 4. we have x to the third and y to the third stay under. So all together, 5 times 2, which is 10, x to the, oops, nothing, and then the 4th root of 4, x to the third, y to the third. All right, I did 7 problems with you. You are going to come back to class with those 7 problems, plus you're going to go ahead and try these 3. And we will look at those 3 answers together on Monday. Have a great weekend. Make sure you get these 3 done and these notes completed to be turned in on Monday. God bless you guys. Bye-bye.